Saulo es un animal. Yep, it works.
Welcome everybody to J.E.S.Kidding podcast. Today we're actually joined by a special guest, longtime friend.
She did ride the little yellow bus. You're right. You're right.
Longtime friend, longtime listener of the podcast.
Don't lie to these people. Don't fucking lie to these people.
Nice, I like it.
She's
Our
heard
friend.
You're 3 episodes in.
Our friend. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's a long time listener from the beginning. He was there from day one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, I don't know. She's probably never even heard an episode.
But I didn't know that Saulo was going to be here. If I'd have known, I would have
we try to keep him away. The zoo keeps bringing him over.
Yeah, right. The 2 times I didn't come, where the fuck were you? Fuck. They don't want me here, but they call me. Fuck. I'm working, motherfucker.
The next time you came, you're just overdrive, dude. You just went overdrive.
Amazing.
But anyways, welcome Daisy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys.
Should we say her real names?
Do you want to get killed?
Ow.
Do you
Dude,
want to get
can
killed?
we call 911?
Wait.
That's her real name, Daisy.
Welcome, Daisy. Welcome.
That's her
It's
real
like I've known you for years. I didn't.
Woo!
So Daisy is, I guess, how long we known you for now?
Well, I didn't
Damn
know.
near what, 10 years? Nah, no mames.
No, it's got to be since like 2012, so good 7 years, I would say.
Almost.
Probably longer. Probably
It
about
has
9
to
years.
be, dude. It has to
Maybe
be.
since
Twins
like
are
what?
11, so like 10 years, I
What
think.
did I say?
Mhm.
Damn, I'm good.
I think so, yeah.
Time flies when we're having.
Fuck, that's 10 years of hell, dude. Fuck.
Anyway.
She's got a lot of shit on us, dude. Okay.
I got shit on her too. I don't give a fuck.
We gave her a microphone.
We some
Yeah,
shit.
we gave her a
talking about-
microphone. Exactly. We're playing with danger on this show,
Yeah.
okay? Not only do we
All right,
fix the
spill
world's
the dirt.
problems, but we also, kind of play it on the edge here. So.
Hey,
yeah.
you guys are lucky that I don't drink anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
This
Would've been a
table would
totally-
have been just flipped.
This would have been
yeah.
a totally different podcast, dude. It would've been
By the
fucking-
way, we're all drinking beer, and she's drinking water out of a Starbucks cup.
A
Yeah.
Venti.
With
Oh,
3.
sorry.
Faucet water. to
Venti
that.
Starbucks cup. Hey, you know what? I choose to believe that is filtered water, okay?
Yeah, filter the miados. Fuck out of here. No, but so what? So Daisy, please tell us what. I don't want to say inspired because I don't think it was inspiration. But what made you decide to come on and talk with?
Did that
us?
court
Yeah,
man
we're
you
open
do
to
it?
it.
What went through your mind? I said, fuck it. I guess I want to go talk.
Are you sure you want me to answer that
Yes,
question?
absolutely. No, aquí no hay pelos en
Hey,
la lengua. You let it-
we can always edit this shit out, okay?
If you sound like
Goes, fuck
We're not
you,
live.
Listen,
fuck you.
listen, if you sound like you got
It's
a
on record.
Just fucking the fucking elevator music. And fucking come back. Wow.
if you
That's
start
like-
talking,
I didn't. That was a lot
you
of
start
shit.
talking, you start slobbering.
Wow.
Just all
We'll start, we'll start crying.
Look, bro. I think I'm done here, dude.
It's time to pull
I
the
was
plug.
not
I guess.
expecting that at all, dude.
We can always edit you slobbering on the mic. We good. No, but for real, what like this is like we're always happy to have somebody, here with us. So what made you decide to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna be there today, talk with these monkeys? What was the thought process behind that?
Well, first of all, I was trying to get my 5 minutes of fame.
Oh, you gonna get about an hour. You're about to
If
get
only,
60.
if only we had 5 listeners.
Yeah. A minute each.
Each
you're
give you
one
a
of them.
minute.
So you're gonna get 4. You're not even gonna get the 5.
No, real talk. Let me get serious
Yeah,
real
please,
quick.
please.
Okay. See, what had happened was
Fuck, here we go.
Juan told me that Chris was teaching Saulo how to speak English. So I was like, "Ooh, now that I need to,
That's interesting.
No.
I need
Yeah,
to
you
see
know
that
what?
personally."
Well, because I like
still working
speakers.
on
When we get monkeys in here, you gotta sign language with these people or these things, whatever the hell it is.
Amy, good.
Yeah, Daisy, good changa. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But we are very happy and excited to have.
Have you actually heard?
Yeah.
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 Give us notes, man. I mean,
I even
Do you comment?
I
You
told
have to comment.
Ceci that you guys, my sister Ceci, that you guys are doing the podcast.
Oh,
and she
God.
was like, "No way! Hey, shut up! I want to hear. She
Oh,
got like
dude.
super excited.
She is a fucking character, dude.
Dynamite.
Hey,
Dynamite,
dude,
I
you
say
two
that
in the
much.
room, we might have to leave.
She said
There's
they.
just no room for anything. In terms of personalities, you just boom, dude. The
it's
both
great.
of you, dude. Just
Tell
She
her
said
whenever
that
she
about
wants to
you
come
guys.
through. Ceci,
What?
if you ever can make your way out here from Texas, we love to have you on
dude,
the
fuck
show.
yeah, dude.
I mean,
Well,
that's
she-
just-
She's down to come, but she said only if you're not here.
I guess Ceci, you're not gonna do it. Sorry about that.
That was the world's shortest open invitation to close.
I guess you're never gonna be. I guess you.
Right back. Not even 5 seconds.
He's like,
dude.
Well, the next topic is.
well, we tried.
Sorry, Ceci. You
Fucking
can't come on.
shit. Nah, that's cool though. Like, fucking, it's cool to have somebody that just, cause you know, cause honestly, you know, we're just starting out here and stuff, so the pressure's off. In terms of like, it's not like fucking a million people are listening and shit, so we could talk a lot of shit. You know, we're not accountable for very much as of right now. I never said that. You know, like we could still do that. Yeah.
We're
No, you
starting
guys are
out.
pretty
As soon
funny.
as we have more than 20 followers, Saulo's out. Like he's gone. He's gone,
that's a
dude.
fact.
Like, we're just bringing him for the circus attraction and then just taking him out. What happened to Saulo?
After we get 20, I'm gonna be on a better podcast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get signed with real podcast people, real professionals.
Going, man, fuck those guys, all right? I got them to 20.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna be with Joe Rogan.
Hey.
Don't worry about that.
Rogan, hey, I got 20 followers on
Yeah,
the
20.
So
Talking
What about your friends? Oh, those chumps.
So tell me, what happened with those guys?
They're dead
I
somewhere.
hope they're dead.
Let me tell you, Joe, what happened?
Joe, let me tell you, Joe. Ro, let me tell you, Ro.
Oh God.
Bro. You got like that. You got it like that. Huh?
Ro.
How you been? It's
Good.
been a minute since I seen you.
Good.
How's work? Tell us. Tell us about your because you have a new job, right?
Tell us who you don't like at work.
Oh, shit.
They won't hear
Herself.
that.
She already-
Everybody.
She sees herself.
call
This is,
that?
I fucking hate you.
Just Mosa.
Looking at the mirror, I hate you. I fucking despise you.
You're stupid.
No, she does. You do have a new job, correct?
No.
Well, this is new.
Act like you know her, dude.
I'm like, how long you been there?
We're supposed to be good friends. Isn't that how he introduced me?
Hold on. We would be good friends if somebody would answer their fucking phone.
Oh.
Well, maybe if you called me private, I would answer.
Yeah.
I don't know how to call private. I'm sorry. But anyways,
Because she
Chris,
sees
you
that.
haven't taught him that?
Caller
still
ID
working
is just
on it.
like your worst friend, Saulo. Like
It's all
people just
that's
fucking.
all right. When I'm a millionaire, she's gonna be calling me and be like,
Don't see this one.
Carelo, yo, roll. We gonna roll. We roll. We gonna be rolling.
Is that the name of the other gorilla in the zoo fucking exhibit there?
Don't talk about Daisy.
Fucking A.
Anyways.
Chris,
Yeah.
you with us?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, hold on. So go ahead. Tell us.
I was
Tell us.
asking the question.
Hold on. Yeah. Give everybody a little bit about yourself. Who you are, what you do, how old you
Dang.
are, all that good
Then
shit.
you're going to have like everybody wanting to come over to Juan's house right
That's
now. I don't
perfect.
think I
That's
should.
fine.
Oh, dude, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's single, so pay attention,
Why you
gentlemen.
got to put my business on blast?
Your tone of voice says it all.
He doesn't know where you work, but he knows that you're single.
Hey, your tone of voice says it all. Trust me.
he could just start throwing shit out there left.
No, seriously. Tell everybody.
She's been to the moon.
A little bit about
She's
yourself.
been to
so
the
that
moon. She's been to Mount Everest. You
She's
know,
a little crazy, but she's cool. Go ahead.
Hey, Saulo, well, I remember clearly how one time you described me to one of the guys I was dating.
How did he do that?
And he
That
told
must
the-
have
tell
not
us the
been
story.
He
true.
said,
Did I say you were an amazing person? Because that's exactly what I would have said.
sure.
What did he say?
He said, well, if you want to get cut in the jugular when you're sleeping.
Oh shit!
Was I wrong? Yeah. Tell the audience, was I wrong?
And he couldn't respond because
I'm just saying.
She's stupid as she's putting her knife away.
No,
Stupid.
Hey, stop lying that she's sharpening her fucking knife. Just,
And this food trip is just on a fucking just sharpening of her
I
blade.
love you, boo. I love you. See what the fuck? No, I don't remember saying that. Did I say that?
Yeah, you
Well, then
did.
I guess I was right.
Clearly.
I must have been. I know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying.
So are you dating right now?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Put it in the category. It's complicated, huh? It's complicated.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah?
say that.
Yeah. He might be listening. You know, there's millions of listeners that we got
Yeah,
right
he
now.
might.
Yeah. So.
The 26.
Or he might know someone that is listening.
Saulo.
Well, no. Don't throw me in that shit. Saulo, what the fuck?
No, I just meant Saulo comment. Do you know this person?
No. I think I'm sorry, whoever you are. Good luck.
I'm sorry.
Protect your jugular. Wear turtlenecks.
With what?
Wear turtlenecks.
Go to sleep somewhere else.
Like a
Sleep with
turtleneck
one-
is gonna protect the neck.
Sleep with one eye open.
So you out there in the game? Any tips from my single boy here?
Chris.
Yeah. Marker.
Whoa,
Hey,
hold on.
let's-
So,
Hey.
so I know the tip. She looked at Chris, and the tip was, "Don't beat Chris." That was the tip. Just don't
I
beat-
did not.
Don't. Your
I
eyes
was
said
gonna
it.
say very nice things, but it goes against you guys' like
No,
Doesn't matter.
absolutely
swag
not.
here.
Don't say nice.
No. Rule number one:
no.
speak
See,
your mind.
Chris
Yeah.
said don't say nice things.
No.
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
Listen,
Hey,
listen. This is how nice we are. Chris, we love you.
Yeah, we love you, Chris.
But
See. Let me tell you something about Chris. He doesn't like it.
He doesn't want to be loved.
He doesn't.
That's
He
the
doesn't. He
problem.
doesn't like.
This is why
So
I'm
we
not
actually
dating
tell
too.
him we love him to make him feel
And he
uncomfortable.
says he dies a little inside.
So it's like the funnest thing to just turn around. Everybody, hey Chris, I love you, and
okay,
it makes
then let
him.
me say nice things then.
Don't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it. We didn't-
Oh, this will be
no,
good.
don't do it.
Chris, you're such an awesome guy.
Shut up.
Ladies,
Turn
he
his
is
mic
single
off.
and ready to mingle, and he's
Hey,
an awesome guy
got
with
his
an
shit
awesome
together.
career.
Yeah, see, you just put shit on blast.
Young
Don't
and
do
full
that.
of cum.
What he hears, what he hears is, as you, Chris, you're a nice guy. You're a nice guy. You know, like he just doesn't like it. I don't know why. Fix him.
Okay.
You not.
Fucking
Okay. You know who you're talking to.
Hey, do something.
Yeah.
Fix my boy.
You
Hurry.
guys-
Just
Something.
desperation at that point.
Yeah.
Do something.
You-
Fix this man.
Use your black magic. Do something for my boy, please.
It didn't work on you, so it ain't gonna work
Yeah.
on him.
Well, you can't mess with the God. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you see.
A daddy.
Oh, hey, look at this.
You know what I'm saying? From Mount Olympus, I'm just.
So you can neither confirm nor deny, but how'd you meet this lucky fella who
Or
may or may not,
not.
exist?
or unlucky.
Or not.
Who may or may not exist.
Please don't be afraid.
If I disclose this information, I'd have to kill you. So
Oh shit.
So protect
hold on. How bad can it be
how bad can what be?
that you say that you are dating? Don't tell us who it is. Just are you or are you not dating somebody?
Maybe.
Son of a. It's a simple yes or no.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. We're getting somewhere.
Nice.
Getting
How old is
somewhere.
You know me and my older men.
So he's 55.
No, he's a little younger than that.
54.
68. Carlos 175 years old.
54 and a half.
I was gonna say. You're getting
Really?
there,
He's
you're
older than
getting-
you? Like that much older?
No, he's older than me, but not
That's cool.
in his 50s.
He's mature though. Probably.
I don't know that he's mature,
Yeah, I was
but
gonna
he's
say probably
older
not.
than me.
Probably not. These days, nowadays, yeah, fuck no.
Yeah. Isn't that ironic? Like a lot of girls go, I want an older guy. And the guy will be like more immature than somebody younger than him.
Exactly.
That's like,
I
Which
never understood that.
explains why they are single at that age.
Yeah. When are you guys gonna learn?
Me mordí la lengua.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Ouch.
I was about to
I
say.
bit my tongue.
De veras? You de veras?
Single teardrop.
I did. I bit my tongue.
And she's telling me, she's like, oh my God, I just realized something.
Hey, you guys should have seen her eyes. Were like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said
Epiphany
that shit.
happened right in that
You know
moment.
what though? You're right though. I've met a few females that are like older or as old as I am or a little bit older, and you'd be like, she's got to be mature because she's got children, right? So she's got to be mature. High school drama bullshit, dog. This is just nonsense.
But aren't we all guilty of that? Like everybody
Fuck
does that
no!
to some
To a
extent?
certain extent, dude, but some people can just take it way too far, dude. I mean, and also we're in a tricky age right now when we're not in our 20s
media.
anymore and we're in our
I
30s.
think that's the biggest part.
And there's a
social
lot
media.
of things, so you could see the aspect of, well, why are you single?
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be a reason. You know? Fucking,
What is he trying to say, Chris?
I'm looking at you, Chris.
Hey.
Hand me the shank. Give me the shank, Daisy.
What are you trying to say, Juan?
I'm just saying, the pool out
It's a
there.
little crazy ass.
All I said can be tricky. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're right. You're right.
You know,
Dude,
sometimes-
dating is so hard. Like, dating is... Okay, so first of all, I'm a single mom
Of twins.
of twins.
Good job.
Yeah.
And I don't drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't go out.
Yeah.
But like, I consider myself a good woman, you know, like I have a full-time job. I take care of my kids. I'm a church-going woman. And like, it is so hard for me to like date.
Is it just hard to meet people? Hard to meet guys?
I'm super social. Like, I want to say, like, I'm not shy. I'm not, and I feel like I intimidate guys. A lot of times, like, men will tell me, like, you look like you're a bitch, you know?
Jesus.
No,
And
like,
Daisy goes, I love you. And she puts her knife away. I kind of like you.
That
I hate you.
That was the sexiest
I'll
thing I've
wait
ever
1
heard.
week before I start going for your jugular.
Hey, stop sweet talking. You already got me. You don't have to sweet talk me.
You had
Oh
me
my
at
God.
bitch.
You had me at you are. This is how good.
Well, how do you primarily meet these people? Is it through church?
Yeah, I was
it
gonna say, is
going
this guy a
out?
church guy?
Mutual friends?
no, he's not a church guy.
Does that bug you?
It doesn't.
Because you're into the church.
I am. It doesn't bug me, but I would prefer someone who has a relationship with a higher power. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like my God, even though like for me, it's the same God with different name for everyone.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So this person, he's not religious.
he's Muslim.
So that means yes. It's
Well,
just
he's religious. Just
Yeah.
a little different from your
Yeah.
religious, religion. But I mean, that's fine, I guess.
Oh, you have Saulo's approval.
Go ahead. Go
ahead.
What the fuck am I supposed to say to that? I don't
Well,
fucking
I
know.
mean, is he, what do you call it, more devout in that? Or so some people are more progressive. My last person I dated she was Muslim, but she was more, westernized. It was just something she grew up with. Her family, very religious. In that sense,
He's
but-
more traditional.
Yeah, traditional.
No, he's very Americanized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was asking him, I'm like, I've never heard you talk about going to church. And he's like, well, because I haven't been.
He's all, what's that?
I'm like, since when? He's
this is-
like, years. I'm
Church.
like,
What?
okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
so he's kind of what, like second generation born here, or
So he was actually born in Jerusalem,
Oh.
but he came here when he was 6.
Wow. So
he just probably doesn't practice it, but it doesn't mean that
was your
his
refugee?
family's not as religious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, well, it sounds like his kids and his parents, like they all like still practice the religion, and he's like the only one that doesn't.
Yeah. The only time they go to church is when they put on the bomb vest.
I didn't see that coming, dude.
When he said that,
Oh shit!
I didn't even catch it. I thought that was, dude. When you said that, I thought,
Oh my god.
honestly,
Chris just was up here. Yeah.
dude, you know what? When he said that, I thought that was an actual
nonchalant.
thing. Like I didn't catch that he said bomb. I thought it was like a
No.
vest or something.
I speak from experience because it's kind of a different. It's culture shock for sure. It was really weird to be dating somebody who's, like, the person I was dating wasn't traditional Muslim, but the family very much was, and it was weird to kind of like they were cool. Everybody was cool, but the customs were different. Like certain things, like it's
weird.
it's old timey stuff. Like just carried down from generations. Like at certain gatherings, and it's not a disrespect, it's just an observation where like only one room had males, one room had females. Everybody was respectful. It was just people do
So
things.
you and your day were both in the mail room.
Cause like,
I had a foot in each.
What's the problem?
I had a foot in each. Yeah. I'm progressive. I identify as
I was
both.
waiting to slip something in there. Just like, give me a spot. Give me a spot.
Hey, you totally beat me to the punch.
no, because I know a lot of the vendors at the flea market. They're Muslims, and they have throughout the years they tell me their customs and stuff. How they interact with other people, and I know they're really conservative when it comes to their religion. They might be open-minded with almost anything else in life, but when it comes to sort of like their family traditions and religion, they stick to their guns.
Yeah.
Was his family some sort of like refugee? I mean, there's a lot of shit going on that side of the world.
It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they've been here for a while.
Yeah,
But it wasn't like I was
here when he was
forced.
6, right?
Yeah, when he was.
But
6.
you never know if you were forced to flee or something. You know?
Well, you know what? Now that I think of it, maybe because he's Palestinian.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
And you said
Yeah.
Jerusalem,
Yeah.
like you see all that
Yeah.
stuff.
That's just
So
been
yeah,
going on.
maybe he is. But see, what's interesting is like Palestinians, or let me rewind, Muslim and Christians, like
It's water
there's
and oil.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's where I was gonna go with that. So how does that work with you and him?
I asked the same question, and he was like, "Oh, I don't care as long
So as
as."
long as you're not
so he's
Jewish.
progressive then. He's very much progressive.
As long as you're not Jewish, we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you know how it is when you get with somebody,
You're not-
eventually you end up getting with the whole family, not just that
Yeah,
one
it
person.
feels-
Exactly. And I asked that question too. I'm like, so what would your parents say if you brought a Mexican girl into the family and
Damn.
B, a Christian Mexican girl into the family
Damn.
with
Fucking-
kids?
Oh, it's right there, dude. Fucking-
Yeah. So what was his answer to that?
His answer was, "Oh, my cousins, they've brought Latin women around and it's been fine.
My cousin's sister, baby Hunter Tracy, over there. She's fine. She's fine.
Mom, this is my nanny.
She takes care of my baby.
His babies are 22.
Yeah, she takes care. She cleans the house. Sorry.
This is the housekeeper. Maria. Maria,
As Daisy pulls out her knife in that moment, it's on. It's on.
She gets in a Terminator mode. She just starts seeing jagulars everywhere.
Just red eyes and jugulars
No,
everywhere.
the
the red,
nanny now, am I?
the little red point, like when
Yeah,
you,
the little fucking laser.
sniper,
Crosshairs.
The
sniper.
crosshairs. I see 5 jagulars right here. Which one is the closest one to me?
No, I'm actually looking for their bomb vests.
Get them all in one shot.
Chris, look what you started. Just stupid little joke.
So you're single after today, apparently.
But you will be.
So when you get back out in the market, what are you gonna
This
be
is
looking for?
this is why he asked me what podcast it was that I was going to.
Oh,
This is why I
no.
didn't tell
Oh,
him.
thank you. Good job.
yeah.
Good job.
She said Joe Rogan podcast.
Bro,
Oh,
watch
it's coming out, baby. Don't worry.
Watch the road. Watch the road. Watch the road.
It'll
Road's
be
coming.
out. It'll be
One day-
out. Don't trip. It'll be out.
Good job. Don't tell him.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because then we're all in fucked it. Fuck that.
Hey, much props too. She said when she coming on here, she's like, "Hey, don't hold back on the alcohol." I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
She specifically got that text saying, "Don't hold back on drinking because
Just because I'm coming.
Well, just curious, and you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. But how long
Have you been
since
sober?
Yeah, sober.
5 years.
Good for you.
5 hours.
Let me see your coin.
5
Huh?
hours.
I don't, it's in my purse.
It doesn't
Well,
You thought I was you thought I was gonna he was trying to be funny, but I really do have a coin.
Oh, she really does. I've been sober 5 minutes.
Not
I'm about to break
even like
it.
30 seconds.
you just relapsed. Oh shit.
Oh, relapse the motherfucker, Saulo.
No disrespect to
Well,
you, Steve,
no,
but-
good for you. Is there something that prompted it, or is it personal?
Oh
decision?
no, nothing at all.
Yeah.
Is that part of how you lost
Hey, this is the
weight
beauty
and
of this
everything,
place.
or-
No.
No one's gonna hear this.
After I this is between A, B, and C and D.
Hey, this is between us. Just talking to the mic, or else we can't hear you.
No, I actually gained a lot of weight after I stopped drinking.
Really?
Yeah, because when you stop drinking, your body really craves that sugar that you cut out. So I I've never been a candy eater, and then when I stopped drinking, dude, I eat candy like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
you
This is
replaced
probably why I
one
didn't
with another.
notice the weight loss, because I know you from when we were back in the day, still like partying kind of time, and you look the same to me, and you look good. And I'm
Well, gee,
doing
thanks.
great. No, I'm saying
Yeah.
like I didn't think it was a thing where you'd had to lose weight or anything like that. You're obviously a very healthy.
See,
young woman,
ladies,
so-
good man. He's trying to avoid saying
It's called
anything about my
political.
weight.
fucking liar.
He's bobbing and weaving right now.
Hold on. Hey,
Relaxing.
What happened to you last time? There was something with your hair.
Wait for that.
Look at it. Is that same shirt you're wearing?
ladies, he's a liar. That means he's a good man.
I'm learning how to Tinder. Anyway, so no, but
No, he's a liar. He's a good man. Apparently,
good for you, like,
these days.
because I'm always curious about people that are doing things to change their outlook on or better themselves, self-betterment. So be it whatever the thing you think is the vice, remove that from your life, something toxic, replace it with healthy things. And it's just the journey. We're all on that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what's happening. So
I've been trying to get rid of her for years. That toxic shit just keeps coming back. Fuck, I do.
Didn't he just say that I don't answer his phone calls?
Pégale. Pégale.
But like a drug, it's hard to quit. You know what I'm saying?
but
You're
so being
so
sober
annoying.
5 years, is it difficult? Is it easier over time?
get
Does it
cravings?
just become a lifestyle?
Like,
So
honestly, do you ever sit there and it's like, I want a cup of wine at home? And you're just chilling on a night, you know.
Well, she's never had a cup of wine.
well, okay, a
she's had a
gallon. I want a
glass.
gallon. Oh.
exactly.
But I mean, right? I mean, at
I want
5
a
years
box
in-
of wine.
at any moment, maybe
A
not at
box.
the beginning, because I think you were a lot stronger at the beginning. But now that you're 5 years into it, has there one time been like, you know what? Maybe I could have a cup of wine and it'll be okay because you have control of it, right? Do you crave it?
She's
Do
looking
you-
at your face right now. I want one right now.
Do you crave it?
I
Yeah,
want
I
a
have to
bottle
look
of
at that. I want one.
Throw that coin out right now.
I need the beer
When
goggles.
when you see this, everybody wants some. I get it.
Sorry to cut you off. But
But yeah, no. Like, do you feel like ever like, you know what, I can have a cup of wine and it'll be okay?
So in the beginning, I did have cravings, especially like in the summer. It like seeing a Corona with like a lime in it and salt, and like going to the flea market, which is like what we used to do. And get wasted and eat ribs and listen to the mariachi. So yeah, in the beginning I would get cravings, but not anymore. I think it took me like 2 years probably to like be okay. And then like I didn't until recently start feeling confident with like being in a room with people drinking.
Right on. Good for you.
Yeah.
Do you what do you use as motivation? Not just for, not drinking, but like
Kids.
weight loss, exercise, that sort of thing. Do you have a routine for that? Is there people that inspire you that you look at? Or?
Go ahead and mention my name, guys.
What?
Inspirational. Go ahead.
he said, "Go ahead and mention my name."
Saulo thinks he's my
As
inspiration.
he's cracking a beer, you motherfucker, dude.
Hold on.
It gets on my nerves.
Why? I'm the most amazing person in the world. Go ahead. Continue. Sorry.
So really spirituality is what
Okay.
like really keeps me grounded and focused. And Vegas on my fitness, okay?
Wait. So you're going to Vegas?
Uh-huh.
So okay.
Oh
Ooh,
god.
that's the
Hold on,
ultimate
that-
fucking
that-
test
whoa,
right
Yeah,
there.
it is. I'm going
hold
to
on.
Sin City.
This is the first time you've been to Vegas since.
Yeah.
So
You've
how
been
do
to,
you-
hold on, did you go to Vegas while you were drinking?
Oh, absolutely. Fuck, I answer that and I don't even know. But I'll tell you, I know you did. But so okay. So what are you gonna do?
I'm going to party.
But when you say party, and just for the people who are listening, when you say party, people think of drinking and alcohol, drugs, everything that goes involved to that, right? Explain to people how you're gonna party, because
I'm going to read the rosary and the Bible.
Party with Jesus.
Son
now.
of a bitch.
I'm gonna go party with
Me
you.
and
Jesus, take
Jesus,
the wheel. Let's do this.
me and Jesus, we
real.
finna party hard. No, I mean, because think
Standing
about
on the
it.
box in the corner. You guys know what you're doing here.
With the sign.
Find them. No.
You are all going to hell.
So yeah, please tell the people the 5 people who are listening.
I'm gonna
what you're gonna do.
I'm gonna do everything everybody else does, minus the drinking and the drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's always a thing that comes up. I mean, we're making it a thing because we're talking about it, but everywhere you go is that.
Yes.
John Mulaney has this joke where, like, every time he goes to a party, people go, "There's an old turnip in the fridge. Would you like that? Is that good for you?" Like, nobody knows what to do when somebody's sober. Like,
Yeah.
I love how these guys are asking you these questions with beers in their hands. So,
Will you ever get a craving? and they take a sip?
Hold on. But you're saying it like,
no,
it's not about us. It's about her.
just the visual. It's hilarious to me.
Well, no, I'm
He's
always.
like, he's over here. It's like a turnip. You know, like
Who did you
got
say
a
it says?
beard.
Who?
John Mulaney, he's a comedian. And he's just, because he's been sober since he became a stand-up. And I think that's what helped motivate him. Because, again, everybody's different. Some people can drink casually. Because I've gone to Al-Anon meetings and, you know, I've kind of, what do they call it, friend to bill, the whole thing. I come from a family of alcoholics. So I understand. So good for you for wanting to, like, role model good behaviors for people that come after you. You're a mom.
Are you going alone? Are you going with your?
No, he's not in recovery.
Oh.
So
he
do you go to AA meetings?
NA.
I had to go to AA meetings,
as he's drinking a beer. Ain't that some shit?
but I was ordered to go by the court. But I went there. I attended the meetings for about 2 months.
Did it change your mind? As you have a beer.
What do
in
you
hand?
think?
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait. Hold on. I've heard that those meetings aren't meant to, and it's just what I've heard. I could.
Have you gone?
No. Just I know people who've gone. Besides yourself,
I've been to an NA meeting.
I've heard that it's not about teaching you to stop drinking. It's about knowing how to drink. You know, to control it. That's what I've heard. I
mean-
could be wrong.
No, dude. These.
So you're telling me that you go there, they tell you don't drink. Drinking
No,
is bad.
dude. I don't know
Right?
what your
Think of it like
experience.
this. This is how I thought of it.
That's what I'm asking because I
felt
don't know.
like
I mean-
it felt like church without a denomination. Like it was like
Yeah,
a place
yeah.
where people could
I
share
would-
their community experience, and we all like understand what's happening here. And
But do they once ever tell you guys don't drink?
No. Honestly,
That's what
it's like
I'm saying,
it
right?
really is. It's like a group therapy session. You kind of going. I'm going through this, and you're not alone in what you're feeling and all this shit. And I went to a couple NA meetings and stuff, like Lalo was ordered by the court, and you hear some fucking stories that like stick with you, and you go,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
And me, like, I was kind of like, I got in a fucked up situation, obviously, selling stuff. And then I go, I'm kind of ordered by the like, there's real people here that, like, need help. And there was some people, I'm like, dude, why aren't you fucked up? Like, there was a guy in there that was like, I feel guilty because I'm like, I'm actually going to leave this place and go party.
You're not.
Yeah, and go
You're not.
party
Yeah,
at my place and shit. Like, I just need to get here, sign my shit, please. I gotta go.
Yeah.
But so I felt kind of guilty in that sense. But there was like a guy that was like, dude, I have cancer in my spleen, which spreads the fucking cancer to every corner of my body. And I'm a recovering addict and this and that. And I refuse to take medication, this and that. And I'm sitting there thinking, you should be fucked up.
Why?
Like,
Hey,
you can't, dude.
It's one of those, like, why aren't you drunk? You get
ass,
fuck,
man.
dude. Come home with me, dude. We're like fucked up right now, dude.
It's like, why aren't you drunk now, dude?
Yeah,
I got a
dude.
beer in
I'm
my
like,
car.
I'm looking at him like,
I got you.
what? And everybody else is like, oh, I totally understand. I'm like, I know, like this. You can. They're like, dude, I got like 5 minutes to live, and I'm like, dude, And then you hear like other stories where just like, I had a motorcycle accident and I broke the fuck out of my collarbone and my fucking back and everything, and I can't take any pain medication. And I'm like, dude,
There's some people that
That's
are
crazy.
just there just to feel welcome by just being part of
community.
anything.
Like Fight Club.
Yeah.
I just need to cry and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like they were calling everybody, and I was past on my time because I'm like, I don't really feel like it's fair, but I wasn't rude. I really would hear people out, and I really would hear shit, and they had like real life shit, like this lady was talking about how
It almost
she
makes
told
you feel like my shit ain't nothing.
I had like
Kinda one of those.
Yeah.
it's funny because of course, I always say you think
What
you
am
have
I
it bad
doing here? This
you
ain't
think you
shit.
have I say this in every situation, you think you have it bad, there's somebody out in the world that has it 10 times worse than you.
Absolutely.
But there was like stories and stuff. Like I remember this lady, she was like, dude, I told my daughter to hide these pills because they gave me pain pills because I got in an accident or some shit. I told my daughter to hide it, and then later on, like I couldn't find my cravings anymore. I tore up her room and I felt like shit. It was a big old thing. And I was like, why don't you just flush them down the toilet? I know I'm thinking like I'm thinking logically.
Can get themselves there.
Why didn't you destroy these pills?
Yeah.
Like,
because it's not that easy.
It's
not that easy to. Just
to each.
I'm gonna destroy these. No, I mean,
to
one
each,
minute I'm sure one minute they're thinking
you never want these though. Like you lady never want them, right? So why not just destroy them or get rid? Like fucking throw them out, throw them in the dumpster.
But it's one thing to say I don't want them, and it's another thing to actually really not want them. You know what I mean? So
that's when you're.
I was fucked up because in my head I'm seeing her live.
It's like when you're on a diet and you really want that cheeseburger, but you really shouldn't eat that cheeseburger.
This is bad. Oh no!
Damn, this is good.
I get what you're saying though, but in that case, she never wanted to have these pills. It's not like, dude, only when I tell you. Give me some. And you had it in your daughter's room. I was just thinking, that's fucked up. Fucking daughter's room? That's fucked up. I'd be pissed off about your daughter. But, it's like...
Lalo, Lalo's been trying to say something.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I lost my trend. But, I mean...
Where's my pills?
I had the same experience going there. Like...
As he's chewing on a fucking
You got
pill.
people who have crazy stories. Some people can't even... I mean, they were so fucked up that, they... couldn't even really speak, but they give them the time to say whatever they have to say, and that feeling of being welcome, that you're not being judged because you're so fucked up, but you're welcome here. And I think, did they ever try to get you to get a sponsor?
No, dude, I only went like to 2 or 3, and it was very like, please volunteer if you want to tell your story, and they would actually go person to person. And you can pass if you want, and nobody was gonna pass.
It's on you.
And I was respectful enough to be like, dude, people here really have problems. I'm gonna sit here and respectfully listen. I would listen. I wouldn't doze off. I wouldn't fucking go on my phone. I would actually fucking listen. And you can always learn a life lesson throughout, no matter what and shit. And I think part of that is why I think no matter how bad you think you have it, there's gonna be somebody in the world that always has it 10 times worse than you and shit. So. Like, I would listen to them, be respectful. Everything was cool. I'd get there on time. I'd leave there. I wouldn't cut people off. If people wanted to say hi or what's your story, I was like, I don't really have one, but, shit, you're fucked up, dude.
Oh, my God.
It's almost embarrassing to tell your story.
No, but right now, since you're saying that you're going to go to Vegas, I think right now that's the only thing that's kind of, it's just not clicking because...
I didn't know you were you should, though. Absolutely.
I can't see if somebody were to invite me to go to Vegas, hey, dude, everything's paid for. The only thing is you cannot drink. I'd be like, no, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
No, actually, you know what? If I could say this, I was actually hoping that you'd be open enough to talk about this and stuff because it is an interesting subject, about, sobriety and everything. Thank you for being open about it, like Daisy. I'm talking to Daisy. Like, I'm talking on the mic and stuff, looking at Daisy like, thank you for bringing this up and stuff because I was hoping
let's be real. We apologize for not just kind of springing it on you. We didn't like tell you what we were going to ask you.
Fuck you.
Marker that. That's the beginning right there.
Fuck you. Oh, the last 30 minutes is just cut to that. Tell me about it. Fuck you. It's just. Well, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm genuinely.
No, it's okay. I don't mind, and that's why I don't because there's so many people that are struggling with things, maybe not even like alcohol, maybe other things. You could be addicted to sex, you could be addicted to food, you could be addicted to like just so many, and even just emotional and spiritual health. I mean, that's what I've gained since I stopped drinking. Like you were asking, like Lalo was asking why. Like, how am I going to go to Vegas and, like, how am I going to enjoy it without numbing myself? And really, like, I feel like I've found who I really am. Like, I've learned what I do bring to the table because when I was under the influence, I thought that I brought, like, so many things that weren't real, Because when you're under the influence, you will make yourself believe whatever you want to believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we will justify a lot of things that we do. And so I learned who I truly am, and I learned to appreciate the moment, and
well, I'll tell you what, you're right, because there's been plenty of times when I've been to Vegas, fucked up as shit, I don't remember half of that goddamn shit.
Hey.
That's true. That's true.
And another thing is, there's gonna be a lot of people losing their wallet.
And the truth shall set you free.
And jewelry.
You know what? We'll edit that part until the wallets do go missing and be like, hey, I got some very valuable information on my podcast, you know? But let me ask you this. Okay, this is real talk right here.
A ver.
Do you think that you can, let's just say, okay, you're out at the beach or something. Do you think that, and I'm not trying to entice you or anything, but you think you could have one beer?
Hell no.
Why?
Because
you really think that you're just...
I've never had one drink. Like,
But, and I get where you're going with this. Because you've been sober for 5 years.
Temptation is the devil.
No, but hear me out.
exactly. Thank you, Lalo.
But because she's been sober 5 years, I feel like now more than ever, you actually have control over your body and your mind and yourself. So why couldn't you just say, I'll have one, I'll have two, and that's okay, and not push it from there? You don't think you could do that? Because I think now more than ever, you have control of your life more than you ever did. So I personally think, and I'm probably wrong, but I personally think that you might be able to say, yeah, I could have one. And maybe this is the bad person in me talking, but because...
Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, we know.
Think
Be
about it.
gone, Satan.
Yes,
Think about it. Not today, Satan. Not today, Satan. But think about it like this.
He has cuernos coming out of his head right
now. You finally
now.
have taken control of your life. Maybe you can have one. And if you don't feel like it, and I hope you don't, because I know you're sticking to your guns, but I feel like maybe you can, because now more than ever, I feel you have control over your body, your life, and everything.
Let me ask you why I asked you that. Let me tell you why I asked you that. It's because I was doing in the same way in my 20s. And Saulo knows, fucking having one beer when it's, hey, let's go get a drink. Yeah, that meant 20 fucking beers. You know,
that meant
fucking
that meant
3
till
hours
5 in the
later,
morning.
we're on our asses and stuff, right? And I know that and
Exactly.
stuff. But now, like when I'm in my 30s, I can actually go, and to each his own. But I can actually go, dude, I'm down to have a beer, and I'll have a beer and
just one beer
and knock it out. But to each his own. I'm sure personalities vary and shit. But that's the only reason I asked that question, because I'm very proud of you. And if you don't obviously, but it's just a question that I'm just very curious as, because I think
never have another drink in your life.
It
That's
just
great.
goes to
That's
what I
the
said in
greatest thing
terms of
ever,
in
but-
terms of part of it is like a question of like in my state it was like maturity. It was like one beer really means a beer. Like I can go out somewhere and I'm like I could have a beer and that could literally mean a beer and bounce
Absolutely.
out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, I feel like because now more, like I said, now more than ever, you actually have more control of your life. Maybe you'd be able to say, I'm just gonna have one drink of something, maybe not just a beer, a drink of something, and say, yeah, I can do it. And why not? Why not? But if you feel like you can't, or you feel like you don't want to, please don't.
By the way, Guinness World Record for the longest question ever asked for like 45 minutes into this motherfucker.
Because we're trying to make sure that
she's like on the mic going, then they like, as she's gonna answer like, so,
No.
like,
Juan, I think
so,
because we're trying
me
to
and Saulo just throwing this ball back and forth.
and I think because we want you to understand that we're not trying to be bad influences.
I'm not. I
You
don't.
know what I mean?
If I felt that way, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Right.
Awesome.
So, but you are bad influences.
Sorry.
This is just from the history of our friendship.
Sorry, mom.
Yeah, dude.
That's
I
hilarious.
mean, we've had.
That's great though. I'm glad that you can do that, because definitely I can't go to Vegas. I can't. I can't even do a podcast without having a drink.
Yeah.
And it's not because I need it, but I want to. I've always said I choose to have a drink. There's nowhere. It's never been like, oh, you have to have. Like there's been plenty of times when we hung out, and they'd be like, take a shot, you're a little bitch. Let me be a little bitch. I don't give a fuck. I mean, right? And that's me controlling
This
it.
motherfucker though, if he wants a shot, oh come on, you bitch, hurry up,
Hey,
hurry up.
So if I say that and you fall for it, that's on you. That's not me, right? Because I'll be the one to say. They'll be like,
Gotcha.
right?
Just
no,
defer
that's
the
true though.
blame.
They'll be like, you take a shot.
And
I
that's
don't
your
want one.
friend.
Yeah. So answer the question.
Well, if you guys would stop talking.
Anyways, go ahead, Daisy. Go ahead,
That's your
Daisy. Tell
motherfucking
us.
fuck ass friend.
Yeah, that's a punk ass friend. Go ahead, Daisy.
So, what, like, one of the reasons why I won't, is because
She has a
alcohol.
lot of holes on her pants. Sorry, continue. Fucking threw me off real quick. What's going on here? Sorry, threw me off.
It's called fashion, Saulo.
Oh, you got ripped
Hey,
off.
if I talk about pants, you could go to $15.99, get a blade, and cut the pants. I'm spending $100.
How much you pay for them pants? How much you pay for them pants?
Don't worry about it.
$150.
I'm gonna give me your jeans. Let me get the blade, and I'll cut it all fancy for you.
You ain't gonna do it right. You ain't gonna do it right. Okay.
I'll buy you some fucking Walmart pants and just hook you up.
See?
No,
Maybe.
Good.
She spent like $9 on those pants. Give me that blade.
Lalo's been telling
Hold on,
Victor
hold
to
on,
shut
hold
up.
on.
He never tells anybody to shut me to around. Shut up.
Oh my God,
so
my
you were
cheeks
saying- you were
hurt
saying
from
it.
laughing. So one of the main reasons is because addiction is a genetic thing, and it runs in my family. Like Chris mentioned, it runs in his family. Yeah, so that's one of the main reasons, is because it's not like a choice anymore for me. Like, it's a genetic thing. And in the rooms, in the NA meetings, like, I've heard so many times, like, there's been people who have been clean for 22 years, for 40 years, and then they decide to have one drink or one hit, and that's it.
And it
And
just takes
they're-
one hit, right?
No, not only
drink,
does
one
it
hit.
take one hit, but you have to understand, like, we drink and use the way I used to drink and use, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so when we go back, we think that we can handle the same amount, and they OD and they're done.
I see what you're saying.
Wait. Have you ever, in your experience in hearing people that go, yeah, I was sober 20 years or whatever and stuff, have you ever heard anybody go, yeah, I had a hit of weed and that was it? No?
Yeah, because people relapse and they'll come back.
No, but they're like,
then we had a hit.
But what I'm saying is like, not like a total relapse, but like,
Just one hit.
yeah, I had a beer. Like, I used to like down vodka, but I had a beer and I felt bad about it, but I did stop at that beer.
So they only
Yeah.
had the beer.
No, yeah. They,
Like, where they didn't totally get fucked up, but they like did have an alcoholic beverage. Yeah, you have heard.
Yeah.
Well, it's also you start guilt guilt tripping yourself. Like, damn, you know, because I see it as you say it's been 5 years. I see it's an investment. You spend so much time, like 5 years being clean, and then just because of one beer, and it's on your conscience. It's on yourself. Like, I'm a failure because after 5 years, I gave up. You know.
And there's just so much more to being clean and sober than just being clean and sober. Like, there's principles that the program teaches us.
The 12 steps.
Yeah, the 12 steps. They teach you, you know.
Daisy, I haven't got my apologies.
Huh?
Isn't part of the 12 steps apologies?
Yeah, we all deserve apologies.
Damn.
Okay,
I need about 50 of them motherfuckers. I need about
I'm
50
kidding.
of them
I'm
some
kidding.
bitches.
I'm kidding.
I need about 50 of them some bitches. Let me tell you.
Anyway, like I was saying.
Look at her escaping this shit.
This podcast is being sponsored by Modelo, by the way.
No, negra modelo to that. The stronger one.
Oh my gosh. These
take a sip of
guys.
that one.
Hey, at the end of the day, listen, we're
Yeah.
all
Very
very,
proud of you.
happy and proud of you
Very.
that you're on it. You're on it. And I'll tell you one thing, you know, because we've talked. I personally am very happy, very proud of you because, yes, at one point of your life, you were
Fucked up.
yeah. It was tough. It was tough for you, and it was tough for us because we saw it, we lived it, and as much as we try to help you, it was tough. It was tough for all of us. But it's great to see you now. It's great to see what you've done, and even with the questions we hit you with, and about Vegas and about drinking. At the end of the day, I still want you to understand that I hope you don't, and I hope you never do, and I'm glad that you don't even conceive the idea of drinking or doing anything, because that's what you don't. That's what you want, right? You don't want to do it. So I don't know if I can speak for everybody in this room. For me, you will always have my support, and I'm happy and I'm proud of you, 110% that you are what you are now.
Thank
You
you.
know what I mean?
Well, it's better to see you sober than seeing you, you know, like
Yeah,
somewhere
'cause
you passed out in a
Let's
corner.
be real. I've seen you.
Well, I never passed out. That's one thing.
Yeah, Daisy.
That's true.
Let's keep it real.
No,
We're
that's
keeping
true.
it real.
Daisy, Daisy was a motherfucker. Let me tell you.
Hey, I never passed
Yeah,
out.
she didn't. She was. There was days when we were there till 9 in the morning. This motherfucker.
Oh my god, it was
Dude,
nuts.
Fucking no, yeah. There was times where
Step
like,
for step, drink by drink.
yeah.
This motherfucker
There was
was
some times
smiling with us.
where like Daisy's drunk and like she fucking blacked out, and I'm like, she blacked out.
Seriously.
She didn't seem that drunk.
Seriously.
She didn't
No,
like seem
dude,
like.
there would be
fuck.
times where the next day we'd be like, so hey, you remember we were doing this like at like 8 in the morning? She's like, no, I was asleep. I was like, motherfucker, no, your ass wasn't. I was with you. And she was just but you know, but
You
those
were an
those were good,
autopilot.
Yeah,
You
no,
were an
definitely.
autopilot. I've been there
Yeah.
before where like I don't remember shit, but dude, you were doing this and that. Like, are you sure it was me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, at least for me, I'm very happy to see
Thanks.
you where you are now, because you have come a long way. Absolutely, 5 years of being sober. I wouldn't want you to throw it away over a beer. You know what I mean? Even though those questions were a little fucking tough, but
But that's how we roll.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're sticking to your guns, and it's not something that you're even contemplating about fucking up. You know what I mean? So
Just say it, Saulo.
I
But
love
if
you.
you ever fuck up, then give me a call.
Call me.
Call me.
You got my number. 408. 408. Just in case.
Hey, you know what? Do you remember when we first met?
Yeah.
Dude?
Oh my god, if you tell the story, I'm gonna hurt
Please
you.
tell the story. I wasn't there, but I know the story. Please tell.
Oh, do you know the story?
I do.
Ah, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Stuff. Well,
She ate shit.
so it was a
Fucking hell, she
mutual.
ate shit.
So it was a friend of ours and stuff. Well, you know.
A ver, what friend?
I known this chick from high school and stuff, and then through Facebook and stuff. Like, oh, okay, let's hang out and stuff, right? So then she goes.
Chinga.
This friend goes, hey, you want to go bowling tonight? And I'm like, in fucking this other town and stuff. I think it was Castroville or some shit like stuff, right? There was like a cheap beer night
Yeah,
at like a
$3
bowling alley.
beers or something.
And she's like, my roommate and her sister and stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm just like, whatever. I'm going to go along with this. And then Daisy pops in the car. I'm like, oh, shit. You know, like, I'm
Who's
in the
this
car
crazy ass motherfucker?
I'm in the car with 3 chicks right now. Not bad, Juan. Not bad. So we get to this fucking bowling place, right?
You had with you.
We get to this fucking bowling place and shit, right? And I don't know Daisy and stuff. I'm just like, you know, hanging out,
You
whatever.
still don't know Daisy.
Yeah, apparently. So fucking
friend.
we get there. We're doing our bowling stuff, and you know we get our shoes on and everything and stuff. And I'm hanging out
I
with this
hate
friend.
you.
I'm hanging out with this friend and stuff, and she's like, you know, we're sitting talking, and then fucking Daisy's up to bowl and stuff, right? And I'm like, all
Hold
right,
on, you gotta tell people she thought she was a pro.
yeah, dude. She
This
came in like, I know
motherfucker
what I'm
walked up
doing.
there
and this
grabbing
and
the
that.
ball like she don't.
So
fucking
you know
what the
how
fuck
you
she
know
was
how
I am the Mac.
You know how you get your shoes on and stuff. and-
Macaroni. High five.
So there's the carpet and stuff, right? And a lot of these places where the bowling or the lane starts or the hardwood starts, there's just like probably a fucking asshole half-inch right there where just like a gap and stuff. I guess fucking I'm sitting there talking, and in the background I just see Daisy about to step it up to the fucking where the hardwood is. Fucking bam, bam, bam. Bam, dude, fucking falls, dude. I'm like sitting there talking to this friend, and she's in the background just fucking stumbling all over. She fucking falls into the fucking chicks all. Look at her.
It was like a 5-minute fall, dude.
Dude, it was, dude.
It was
I thought she tried to carry this ball into the fucking pins, dude. Just like, I was like, is she gonna go knock him out by hand or what the fuck? Dude, like fucking took
Oh my
forever to fall.
gosh.
And fucking while everybody else was laughing, I fucking go over there like, holy shit, this chick just fell. Like, what the fuck? We just got here, she's not drunk. So fucking, I get over there, dude. I get over there and she's on her ass. Fucking eyes popping out of her head like trágame tierra, dude. I fucking pick her up like Terminator and shit. Just we're gonna be good friends. Get up.
Come with me if you want to live.
Literally, come with me if you want to live. She like grabs my hand. I'm like, we're gonna be good friends.
Sarah Connor, come with Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor, come with me if you want to live.
I'll never forget that shit, dude. I was like, what the fuck is
Dude,
this
that was
chick
like
doing,
the
dude?
longest fall on planet Earth.
What the fuck, dude? I'm like, what the fuck
I'll tell you
is
one thing.
anybody
When
gonna
he
help
told me
her?
about that shit,
Is
he's like,
anybody
you don't
gonna
know
help
this
her?
chick, but dog, Como unos 20 minutos se aventó que ese no.
¿Sí?
Le dije, hey, güey, dile que yo dije que she's lucky I wasn't there.
Oh, for real, dude.
Because
For real.
let me tell you, if I was
See,
there
I made
that
it.
day,
I make an impact everywhere
hold on.
I go.
If I was there that day, we wouldn't be friends right now. I'll tell you right now.
Damn, why didn't you come?
You would have hated me. I would have been, oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel. it would have been bad.
Hey, let me tell you this other story.
Ay, ¿ahora qué?
No. This was for Saulo. This one time, where did you take us?
Yeah.
Daisy picked us up and she was like, "Hey, you guys are coming with me. We're gonna go party at my uncle's
to
house,
your mom's
to a
house.
ranch
Oh,
in like
Modesto.
Modesto.
Yeah.
Modesto.
Yeah.
She loaded us up like horses in her little fucking
Straight out.
hatchback
In her little
and shit. The
fucking-
whole
More
way
like
we're-
oinkers.
the whole way we're making her fucking laugh and we're going over there and we're fucking drinking and she's actually like, I'll drive you guys back and this and that. We're all getting stuff and we're like, okay, cool. So we're like, we're at this ranch and there's like a single road to like this ranch and shit. She parks to the side and she brings like a little 6-pack, a little thing, like a little bag or whatever. And so we're over there and we'd spent, what was like Christmas or something, right? It was like a Christmas, something
I
like
think
that.
it might have been. No, I think it was.
I fucking Saulo was fucked up, right? When we leave and stuff. She goes, we're about to leave, and Daisy goes, "Hey, I forgot my bag, my little cooler. Can you go get that for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." So I fucking run back. When I come back, Daisy's fucking rolling, dude. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't breathe. You fucking missed it, bro. You missed it." I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "This fool tried to get in the back seat of my car and he fell onto the roadway and he looked like a turtle. He couldn't get back up. Like his arms were like flailing about.
It was like trying to get into the circus little clown car, dude. How the fuck is you gonna get a
What did
300-pound man?
I do? What did I do? I came back. I was like, "Man, fuck! I missed that shit."
Juan was pretty upset. Juan was pretty upset, and the whole way home he was just like everybody was laughing in the car. And Juan was just serious, like he's just upset because he missed the fact that
Oh my gosh.
So
Daisy laughed the whole 2 hours getting us home, laughing her balls off, and she's like, she's
my
just
God.
fucking laughing, and it's on the back. Fuck you, Daisy.
straight out, I was like, "Fuck you and your fucking little toy
Man,
car."
fuck you and your little toy car.
Because I was drunk as shit.
Oh my
And
God.
she goes, "I'm pretty fucked up." I said, "I'll fucking drive. I don't give a shit. I can drive this fucking car right now." I couldn't even get into the fucking back seat. I'm over trying to drive this motherfucker's car.
Oh my
But dude,
God.
it's like the smallest car in the front. Dude, literally, I could
So
drive
you
that.
should have been able to get in.
Dude, literally, I could get this car and put it on as a keychain. Like, tiny little fucking clown car, dude. And these motherfuckers stuffing this big fat.
No, and he's just milking the dude the whole way. So good thing another car didn't come because I would have smashed it with my shit. With my fucking, that car would have ran into me and just exploded.
I was, hey, and then when we get to your house, watch your step. Man, fuck you. Don't fucking talk to me. What the fuck is wrong with you?
What about that?
What is wrong with you?
Hey, Saulo, watch your step,
I said, fuck you.
Fuck you,
Fuck
bitch.
you and your goddamn car. Fucking pebble car.
I think
Oh my
we had
God.
your niece. We had your niece in the car in the
Oh
passenger.
yeah,
She
that was
fucking.
Ceci's daughter.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
Amber.
was fucking. My stomach fucking hurts. Dude.
I think she was
My
all of like
face hurts.
13 years old.
My
dude.
stomach hurts. Fucking
Oh
you
my
guys are
God.
fucking crazy.
Oh my
And
That was
God.
one hell of a
Dude.
fucking day, dude.
Dude, that was funny.
That was
That
one hell of a
fucking-
day.
Hey, how about the time that I beat Saulo into your neighbor's living room?
Oh shit, dude.
Her breath was kicking. Her breath was kicking.
Was
Wait,
kicking.
Her breath was kicking like Bruce Lee.
Like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh fuck. This motherfucker. Another drunk Saulo moment. Like faded drunk Saulo moment. I think he just like
Is it the
pushed
man
me.
cave?
Yeah, I think she just like I don't
All I
think
had to
she
do
pushed
was
me,
look
yeah.
at you.
Yeah, well shit, that face.
I got mind control over
Dude,
Debo.
she's I think he just like it wasn't even hard. I think we're just like we're fucking around and she just like pushed me or shoved me like very lightly. And my fucking monkey ass drunk as shit, dude.
Backs up.
I lost my footing. I lost my fucking footing.
Was it a flashback to the car?
No, fuck no. I think that was before that.
My
I think that
turtle
might have
shell
been before
Before
that.
was
that.
holding me
And all I
down.
remember was like she went like literally like just pushed me like we were fucking talking shit to each other. It felt like this fucking like 10-pound ball hit me or something, and I lose my foot and I'm just what the fuck? dude, I hit the wall. I hit this fool's wall, right?
Oh my
And
god.
it's just like, can you imagine what the neighbors thought?
They loved it.
They must have been like,
And the neighbor was like, where did this gorilla come from?
straight out.
Dude, I come around the corner. What the fuck you guys? Look at my wall. Look at my wall.
Look at my
Like,
roof.
You play
Look
too
at
much.
my roof.
What come over and fuck up your
Dude,
shit?
that I couldn't believe it. I was like, what kind of bullshit is this?
Saulo flew like 100 feet
Yeah.
into the neighbors.
Oh yeah, and the story got exaggerated
Living room.
to the point where
Onto
like
the
I was
couch.
on the other side of the room and I fucking
Just a
fucking
uppercut, and he
I swear to God, I punched that
And I swear
motherfucker in
Saulo's
the
just
face.
over there.
He was trying to be cute.
Yeah,
I said,
she
"Fuck
knocked
that."
me out. Her fucking breath was kicking, bro.
Hey,
Fuck this.
Hey,
She said, shit. I said, damn.
hey, Juan wants to act like he's so innocent, but he went to go get his WWF belt
Yeah.
from his
That
room,
he did.
and he brought it to me,
Yeah.
and then he picked me up, and he was carrying me.
It's right there.
He was carrying me around the
right there.
house, with,
That-
and he
that
made me
was
put on the
present.
belt.
Hey, let's be real. Let's be real. If those fucking walls,
Could talk.
oh my God.
Dude, I remember when my you know
We
all know
have this
Mario.
podcast, we'd be arrested.
We all
right now.
know Mario, but his brother who loves to party too. He came one weekend and we were there, and Daisy, you were there, and fucking like they tapped out at one point, and
They were
we're
weak
still
sauce.
4 or
I hate
5.
to say
We're
it,
still like
Mario.
4 or 5 in the morning, just raging, and fucking he comes because he had like a sprained ankle or some shit. Next day he comes and goes, "You guys don't fuck around." He's like, who was that chick that's like screaming at 4 in the morning? I'm like, yeah, that's my girl Daisy. Like, I knew who it was, dude.
That's
It's
my
like,
cleaning. That's my cleaning lady. She just didn't go home. She was here to clean my room, and she said, "Fuck it."
She was here to collect cans in the morning.
Yes. She cleaned my bathroom and said, "Fuck it."
Hey, my friend's mom did. She used to come over in the morning to collect all the cans when she knew we were partying.
wow, dude. I'm
That's
telling
not.
you.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
that fucking apartment was a son
walls
of a
could talk.
bitch.
Yeah.
Oh
Good times.
my God.
Good times.
We
That was
did-
hella fun.
We did some maniac shit there.
Dude, I'm really lucky that the neighbors were scared of me.
Oh my.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they were scared. I think they just
no,
understood.
they got it, and
They
like
understood.
dude, the upstairs, the guy across from us too, the guy across from us too, he would actually fucking like, nah, dude, do your thing.
Dude, literally.
And they had like families, dude. Like
the
the girls
neighbor,
upstairs,
the neighbor
they had
across from
families.
you,
Yeah.
and the neighbor that lived across from you up top would be like, "Man, you guys fucking do it up." He's like, "Dude," the neighbor across from us would be like, "No," because I remember I tell him, "Dude, hey, listen, if we're ever fucking loud," because I was there. every
We were
fucking-
hella
I'd be like, if we're ever
loud.
fucking too loud, where your family wakes up and we disturb you, like, please come over and tell us. Like, the last thing we needed was the cops there, so we like tell us.
The
so that
cops
we can
never
stop.
came, though,
never,
huh?
Never. And that guy was
Damn.
like, "Dude," and he would be like, "Dude, I live vicariously through you guys. I fucking hear you guys," and I'm like, "I love it." I was like, dude,
He's on. There
Dude.
was somebody's on. I see the girls leaving.
Yeah, dude. He was.
They must have seen me.
He's. I see that fucking devil y'all coming in. Cops on y'all, motherfucker.
Dude, I was actually like,
Damn the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Adrian, you're now brother-in-law and stuff. The one, you guys, I mean, they lived hella far away and stuff, right? But he was like, you know what, dude, I want to do for my birthday. I want to go party at the bar, the Fifth Quarter down the street.
Which is
and he's
closed
like,
now.
he's out. And then I want to party at your apartment.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. Like, I liked the fact that
The
he was
after
like,
party
yeah,
is
that was his birthday. Like, yeah, I want to do it
That's
up
cool.
there. I'm like,
Celebration.
yeah.
And I'll tell you, your neighbors knew. Come Friday night, come Saturday night, even fucking Sunday.
Dude, I would hate to be your neighbor.
Dude,
I thought about that plenty. I said, "Imagínate live next to this one."
Oh, I would have called Well, see, the thing with San Jose is they got bigger things to worry about.
absolutely. Then a fucking a noise complaint. Like we got motherfuckers shooting.
Well, that's-
and
Hey,
stabbing.
you know, the few times that I've actually seen the cops there, it was hella funny. Like,
It was
I get
impressed.
there. I get there. Yeah, there were. First of all, there was some other incident stuff, but there was one time I get home and stuff, right? And I get home from like somewhere else. I think I came from a bar or something. And there's a cop there, and he's with this kid, and I'm like, of all the fucking times that there's a cop here now when there's no party and stuff, so I walk by and stuff, and the cop's just talking to the kids. You can't put your mom in the headlock.
Oh my god.
That's all I needed to hear from that conversation, dude.
Oh my God.
That was
Hey,
that was you saying Shit, then I guess us party.
Hey, dude. Hey, I walked by him. I'm like, you put your mama in a headlock? You crazy.
Not knowing that the night before, we fucking had a rager.
Meanwhile, I get back
This
into my voice.
Yeah. Till like 9, 10 in the morning.
monkey.
And this son of a bitch put his mom in a headlock, and we're over here just going crazy. Fucking crazy. And this motherfucker's getting arrested because he put his mom in his headlock? I put plenty of people in the headlock at your apartment, dude.
That's the only
And the
time.
cops
I
told
mean,
me-
out of
Yeah, I
context,
put you in a
whatever
headlock
that
a few
fucking
times.
was, I walked
don't
away
know
from
what I
that
put you
conversation
in.
like, you know what?
Nigga, you wish.
Hey,
Ooh, sorry. Sorry.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Your takeaway. What did you learn from this?
I learned never to talk to strangers.
Damn, too late for that.
Funny thing is, she is the fucking stranger. Oh yeah. Lalo, what'd you learn?
Wow, 5 years. This is good. Keep it up.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you in like
5
5
years.
about 5 years. Yeah,
5 years, man. Tu, Juan?
I know you can do this, Daisy. Obviously, you told us, hey, you know, don't come back on the drinking if I'm gonna be there. And dude, I never had a doubt, so it's not like I learned that, but I knew that you're good. You know what I mean? So good for you.
Chris?
I love you, Chris.
Hey, you know what? These two, Chris and Lalo, are like the fucking calmest ones. So when they fucking bring some shit, I'm just like, God damn! Like he's like fucking bombs and Muslims. And shit. Looking this one over Victor's standing here. He turns like, shut up!
Serio,
Fucking like
I'm
serious,
I'm
dude.
trying
Shut
to
up!
listen, and he's over here talking to me.
He's the nice one.
Yeah, Lalo is a nice one. Seriously, I what I took away was that Christians and Muslims
Can coexist.
can
Can
coexist. Yeah,
We're not mating yet.
Can do
Then
the
you're not
nasty,
dating.
Can bump uglies, and
That hasn't
future is
happened.
bright.
Thank you.
and, like Chris said, we're turtlenecks, gentlemen. Period.
That ain't gonna protect him.
Anyways, I think this is the conclusion of this.
Yeah.
And, once again, thank you, Daisy,
Thank you guys for having me.
Stop by
Very much.
anytime.
for taking time out of your night to come over here and listen to our stupid.
It's not like I had anything better to do.
Hey,
The
you
world
know
doesn't
what?
need to know that.
And next time you're at this meeting, collect some stories and bring them here.
Straight out.
Just
Straight
talk
the fuck
mad
out.
shit.
Straight the fuck out. Tell these motherfuckers, listen,
Hey, that
you finna be on the
A,
air.
that A and AA, and it don't mean nothing to me. Okay, I don't know these people. Okay, you bring the fucking stories over here.
Much continued success.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
That was good.